Hey YouTube, Chris for the HandyGuard channel. And I got up this morning, opened my browser, and saw a pretty much top of the list headline. U.S. job layoffs reach highest level in 4 years. More good news from this wonderful recovery that the government has been touting. And in our last State of the Union message from the President, how great things are was rolled out. This is not a sign of any form of recovery, by the way, because we haven't had one. We've really still been in a recession since the crash in 08-09. The bankers have tried to paper it over by issuing trillions of new dollars, which means trillions of more debt. All these chickens are coming home to roost for the perfect storm that's lining up. So read the article if you want to at MSN on their website, or I'll give you a quick rundown of it. There's a firm called Challenger Gray and Christmas that's released its monthly job cuts list for July, and it's 105,696 jobs that were cut, which is the highest number since 2011. The July job cuts total is a whopping 136% higher than the 44,842 job cuts reported in June. We're going in the wrong direction at record speed. The article goes on to talk about the last time that more than 100,000 jobs were cut in an announcement was in September of 2011. And there was a big panic then. The Fed started printing money big time to try and cover that one up. The result was more bubbles that postponed the day of reckoning, and we're seeing it starting to bear fruit now. More people are losing their jobs. It's a bad trend, and July's surge in job cuts now brings the year-to-date job cuts up to a total of 393,368, 34% higher than the run rate from last year. Things are getting worse. They're not getting better. And I don't mean to gloom and doom it. This is the reality that everyone should be aware of and preparing for, because we're going to see a crash. We're going to see a collapse in our systems, multiple systems. We're going to see the dollar crash. And here's why. I'll tell you why, actually, when I get to the end of just this quick review. It's a short article, in my opinion, why. It says the only good news are that over half of the jobs cut in the month were the result of massive troop and civilian workforce reductions by the U.S. Army. They eliminated 57,000 jobs from government payrolls over the next 2 years. They just announced the cuts today, but over 2 years they're going to cut back 57,000 jobs. That means the government will not be wasting that much of your money on people. And I'm sure there are arguments that, they're reducing the military, so that's a bad thing. So I won't get into that at this time. That's a whole separate topic. Just to note that some of those job cuts were military and government spending, jobs related to the Army. So it's an ugly report. Other fronts that are affected by it are workforce cuts in Microsoft, Qualcomm, Intel. These are big firms that cut out 25,000 job cuts this year, 47% lower than this time last year. Key layoffs for July were 9,000 in energy, 3,000 from financial. Oh darn. Fewer bankers? No. They're firing their employees. They're trimming their stock. They're cutting back too. Retail, education, and transportation. Check this picture out. Does that dude look happy? Nah, because he just got fired. And all the people in line around him, queuing up their favorite tune on their iPod, or texting a friend, or checking some news or whatever on their This dude is totally focused on the shit sandwich that he has been fed, which had no bread in it. So that is the situation for these guys with their layoffs. Now, short article, give it a check if you want. Just another indicator for where we are and where we're headed. Unless the direction changes, I ain't seeing it. Something's going to snap. Here's my response to... I got to pause for a second. I lost my train of thought. Okay, I'm back. I lost my train of thought for a second. The comment I was going to make about why this is going to impact something really, really big, which is the dollar, and a lot of people have been predicting it's going to crash, it's going to collapse, because confidence will be lost in the dollar. And right now, it's being supported by a lot of artificial mechanisms, namely the fraudulent manipulation and suppression of the price of gold by the likes of J.P. Morgan and the Federal Reserve and their bullion banks, committing massive fraud in doing it and getting away with it because they control the regulators, as well as other central banks in other countries like the Japanese printing yen and the European Central Bank printing euro, which makes the dollar look stronger because they're trashing their currencies by printing shitloads of it. So it's making this dirty shirt in the laundry, which is the US dollar, look a little cleaner than the other dirty shirts. But that's all it is. Now here's why it's really going to make the dollar tank. This jobs report is just proving out the actuality, the reality that our economy is really in trouble. And it's going down. It may be going down for the count, but it's going down. The Fed will not raise interest rates. They will not raise interest rates. They've already said so, even though they keep trying to fake everybody out so they don't panic and sell their stocks. We're going to raise rates. We're going to raise interest rates, which would be good for the dollar. They have to raise interest rates or the dollar is doomed. But they can't. They're stuck. So they've been lying through their teeth to keep this from getting out in mainstream news, although all the smart money's been getting out of the stocks. All the smart traders have one foot out the door already, thinking they can they can get out real quick when the crash comes. And most of them are going to fail at that. Because they can't raise interest rates, they're going to have to start printing more money. The dollar is going to tank. Sooner or later, the dollar is going to collapse. They cannot raise interest rates. And this is just another proof of why. Our jobs are disappearing. Layoffs are going to continue to increase. The economy is going down. They ain't going to raise interest rates. Check the article out. It's just another finger in the wind. Yeah, it's blowing and it stinks. So heads up. Be prepared out there. You know my philosophy. I'm an army of one. I declare my independence from this insanity. Sharpen up a pitchfork. Sharpen up your pitchfork. This is Chris from the Handigard channel. Have a good day. We'll edit this part out. Or not. Yeah, we'll definitely edit this part out.